And here we have the church again. Um, Very pretty, very big. I'll now walk down here. Probably not going to talk too much on this video. Very talked quite a bit on the last video that I did. But this is Wentworth. I'm currently walking sort of behind the village, and I'll walk along this path and then walk through the entirety of the village if you want to see it. So bear with me, I suppose. You know, this part's, pretty still. Not much architecture, but I have to walk down here to be able to walk through the village to make my way home. Morning.
Right. But they don't say no. No. Oh no. No.
See somebody with a pram, so I have to point the camera over here, I think, for a little while. I don't really want to film somebody's child. Gotta say, I am cold. It has really dropped. just at the end of this path here is actually a garden centre, and I'm not going to go round it at the moment because it's Sunday. I imagine it'll be really hectic, and I don't even know if they'll want me to film because obviously it is private property. But if anyone wants to see what the garden centre here looks like, let me know in the comments, and I'll try and get in contact with the garden centre and see if I am okay to film here. But at the moment, I'm just going to turn left here, make my way through the village, and head home. The garden centre is really lovely. It's always been really nice. We always put lots of money into it, especially at Christmas. A Christmas video here in this garden centre would be really good. Pardon me. But as I say, I'm going to go through the village. Oh, I'm not getting these cyclists away. Here we have a war memorial. Pay our respects for a minute here. Show you some of the names, some of the men. Something we must obviously never forget. I had a member of my family died in the First World War. And this does appear to be for the Second World War, I think. But one of my family members did die in the First World War in the Battle of the Somme. He never got to have children or anything, unfortunately. Oh no, sorry. Yeah, that one's for the First World War then. And then the other date on this side, yeah, is the Second World War. And the flag, not very windy today, which is nice for me, but not so good for the flag looking pretty, but it is what it is. I will now continue through the village. Oh, I suppose actually I'll show you down that direction, that's towards Rotherham. Wentworth Woodhouse is also down there, big stately home. And maybe I'll come up here one day and film that. But at the moment, I am going to head this way, especially as all the traffic's going that way and people are being noisy. I find it so strange people stare when you've got a camera. Like, what do they think I'm doing? Try not to get too negative though. I do think church is a good influence. Look at all these conkers. Wow. Got all the conkers on the floor here. I mean, for those in other countries, these are conkers, or sometimes called horse chestnuts. Yeah, I think they are a relation to walnuts. And when we were younger, we would get these and play a game called conkers, where you drill a hole through one with a piece of string, and somebody else does the same, and you keep hitting each other's conkers till one breaks. People used to cheat and varnish them and stuff, but that used to be a British institution, and nobody does it anymore. I mean, I haven't got kids, so it's not something I can influence so much, but it'd be nice, I suppose, if people would remember what we used to do as kids, some of the more fun things, harmless things. I mean, maybe some people that buy conkers if it hit them in the face, but I think most people probably didn't. Rockingham smells nice. This is one of the two pubs in the village. The locals just call it the Rock. It is the Rockingham Arms. Try and get a closer shot. See Rockingham Arms. And I'll get a little shot of the beer garden, but I won't do it for too long. I respect people's privacy. That's the beer garden. Now I'm on the bad side of the road. See if we can get across. Got the hymn in my head now. Can't remember the name of the hymn though, so can't tell you what the hymn is. Could probably sing the rhythm of it, or melody rather. So I wish I put gloves on me. My hand is cold carrying this. And here we have a restaurant called Le Bistro. This isn't the other pub I was mentioning. This is technically not a pub. It does obviously sell alcohol, but technically that is a restaurant. It is really nice. Oh, it's changed name. It's called the Old Smithy. That did used to be called Le Bistro though. And here we have tea rooms. Let's get another shot. That's the tea rooms building. Got me wobbling the camera everywhere. See some lovely houses. And here as well. These houses are probably older than what some actual countries' constitutions are, to be honest. Not 100% sure when they were made, but you know, I'm not an historian. It's not my area of expertise. Just around here we have Paradise Square, I think it's called. Yeah, they have a gate to make sure the tourists can't come and ruin it. But here we are, look at this. Lovely, lovely, lovely. I'll walk over here and just get another shot from this angle as well. Not filmed for too long though, because these are people's houses. Here we have a telephone box. But now it has as you can see, has a defibrillator in it. I mean, I don't know if I can just open it maybe quickly just to, yeah, and then that is the defibrillator in there. I'm not going to touch it though, because obviously that is for emergencies. But these used to be old phone boxes. This one has been, repurposed, which is good, because these again are part of British history, part of our culture and heritage. You know, if you find these telephone boxes in other countries, people import them because they're that distinctive. And it's sad. It's sad in a way, but at least this one's still being used for something. It has a purpose, which is good. Oh, and here we have a cattery, Acacia Lodge. I'm not going to cross over because it's getting busy. Maybe some of you always like to say England's a shithole. You can now eat those words. I'm not going to go too long, but that's it there as well. And just down here we have the village shop, and there is the pub, the George and Dragon, across the road from it. And I used to work at the George and Dragon. It was potentially my first proper job. I once had a job at KFC, but I only did that job for 1 week before quitting, and then I came to work here at the George and Dragon as a waiter. The food smells banging. Always used to have nice food here. I've been to George and Dragon many times for meals. Or maybe I'll walk up just a little bit closer. Man, that's making me hungry, the smell of that food. And this is the George and Dragon. And it's nice inside as well. Pity when I worked here that the boss was a clown. I'm sure she doesn't work here anymore though. And obviously straight across from me is the village shop. Sorry. And a wine shop. I don't know how long this has been here. See, wine shop. It's a little shop inside it. I'll not interfere too much in their business operations. It looks really nice in there. And we have, Lightwoods wines. I'm not endorsed by any of this, by the way. I'm just doing my bit, I suppose. Help with these local businesses. We have headquarters, professional hair care. It's good these businesses are able to operate here in such a small village. You can see like the church from here. You can see in the background these lovely houses here. Again, I won't dilly-dally. See, people live in these homes. I won't want somebody filming my home for too long either. This is sort of coming to the end of Wentworth Village. Oh. I'm pretty certain these have all got new windows. I'm sure the windows used to be green frames. Now they're all white. I've only just noticed this. And then if I went up there, that would be me going full circle back to where I started. And that is sort of church that I was just in. Well, that's the board anyway for service times, etc. And now for the walk home, which, oh well, I suppose actually there's a bit more architecture to look at, but eventually I will have to get to the point where I am out in the woods. The only thing with this village is it is one of the best ways to get from like the sort of my end of Barnsley to Rotherham. So, and as you can tell, like, the roads are really narrow, so it is a bit pokey for people getting down here. But what a lovely day! It was banging it down all day yesterday. It didn't stop raining the entirety of the day. What some would call very British weather. But here in Yorkshire we do get quite a lot of sun, to be honest, and that's the old church. I'll try and zoom in. I was informed that this old church here was the original one, and when they built the newer one, nobody wanted to go to it, so you had the roof taken off it, apparently, so that the villagers would have to go in the new church. That's what I was told anyway. I'm not sure if you could even really see it. It hasn't got a roof on from over here, but unless they've replaced it potentially. But That's that. And then now, go around this corner, undoubtedly almost get knocked over. And then, I suppose, another thing here, Exile Antiques. And then, nice old building. Maybe it looks like it needs a roof, having a little bit of TLC. Or, not sure if you're allowed to replace the roof as such. But it does look like it's seen better days. And now, I leave Wentworth. So technically I'm in Rotherham at the minute, and I will now go back to Barnsley. Although Wentworth's a bit weird, because it is one of those villages that has, I can't remember now, it's got like something like the area code, like the postcode, I think, for Rotherham, but then it's got the dialing code for the phone of Barnsley, and then you might have like a Sheffield something or other. I can't remember. Somebody explained it to me when I used to work at the George and Dragon, although I was over 20 years ago now. So, or would it be over 20? Yeah, over 20 years ago, yeah. So, yeah. I suppose I was a little wrong. There's a few over houses down here. Some of them are a bit new, like that one there. One made of brick, so it's definitely very new compared to all the other houses here. Probably still older than me, that house, I reckon, but still very new in comparison to everything else. And people are so interested in the camera. Oh. Probably best to cross over. Oh man, I'm gonna cross over anyway. Not now. Aha! Now is my opportunity. No, another nice home there. It's annoying though when it snows getting out of the village. And that is it, I think, for all the old houses now. We'll have to go past a builder's merchants, I think it is. Or it's a DIY shop or a garden centre. I forget what this is. Garden centre, garden and leisure. Yeah. I'm sure it used to be something else though, but maybe I'm wrong. Mm. We have a coffee shop here, Fudge's Coffee Shop. This is where I'll be turning right. Aha, yeah, Long Acre Garden and Leisure Limited. Yeah, cabins, garden rooms, heavy duty sheds, decking, composite decking, fencing, equestrian. Again, I'm not going to go on private property and start filming. But this is what it looks like from the outside anyway. And now I walk home, and that is Ireland over there. Oops, wrong direction. I wasn't zooming in. I suppose that's actually there's bits of everything. There's like Jump, Elsker, like Hoyland, and I know what would be behind the sort of tree line there is Island Common, which is all part of Ireland Never, part of the same municipality. And just up there as well on that hill, on that ridge of the trees there, is where me and my friends would go and smoke cannabis back in the day, up in that tree line there, just on the edge of the field. Obviously, don't do that anymore. I mean, I'm not smoking cannabis anymore, and me and my friends don't even really, even if I was, me and my friends don't meet up in that location anymore. Ba 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 ba. Da, 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 da. Now, forgive me, I suppose this won't be the prettiest part of the walk, with this concrete path leading down into the woods. But, still much more pretty, I suppose, than certain parts of the country, and certainly other countries as well. I do apologise for the slight burps I keep doing. I think it's that cup of tea that I had before I just left the church. Stopped and talked to one of the ladies, much older than me. I reckon she's in probably late 70s at least. And, she was happy to see me, and when I told her I'd got my camera and I'd been filming it and stuff, she thinks even as an older person, thinks it's important. People like me, with our IT skills, etc., can not sort of proselytize to people, but lead people to God potentially. And that's not the purpose of my channel. But I will be open about being a believer of God and Christian. But my channel is not for proselytizing or preaching. I don't think that's my function in society. I have other functions, I think. I'm still feeling a bit rough from last night, though. I mean, I didn't even really, I suppose, drink that much in comparison to when I was younger, but because I don't really drink alcohol and that anymore, I suppose my tolerance has dropped through the floor. Can't have had that many yesterday, I don't think. Maybe 6 pints at max. I think it would have been about 6. Might have only been 5. But because I don't even ever drink anymore, obviously it's hit me like a ton of bricks. I don't think I wasn't hammered or anything last night, but I was definitely, a bit tipsy. My body has definitely let me know about it this morning. But, no need for negative vibes, not really concentrate on the hangover too much. Still made new friends last night, which was good. And this group of people are not raging cokeheads. Because that's been one of the things, I suppose, that drove some of my friends apart is some of us didn't want to continue hammering the devil's dandruff anymore. And some of them did want to continue. Although I think, I saw somebody from my old social group actually last night he stopped doing cocaine, which is good. Obviously he was drinking alcohol, but he says that's all he does now. Completely knocked the devil's dandruff on the head. And what is sad, I suppose, is one of my other friends did have a stroke, which I think he's told us it wasn't related to the cocaine, but I think we all can kind of guess that it will have definitely had a contributing effect at the very minimum. I'm glad he's still around though. Not really in contact with him because a lot of my friends are still just smoking weed constantly. Not all of them, but some of them. And I just can't be around that, unfortunately. And then I learned yesterday that one of my other friends, I mean, I say he's one of my friends, he did fall out with me from just an opinion about a TV show. He did later apologise, but then things have always been frosty since then. But I heard that he tried to take his own life, sadly. He sadly tried, and thankfully he failed. And he's okay, he's alive. And I think he's stopped doing cocaine as well. The suicide attempt must have been a wake-up call. So it's good. It's good to know that at least three of the friends that were still doing cocaine long after I stopped doing narcotics have stopped as well. I mean, last time I ever took things like cocaine it would be like 2017. I believe it was like 2017 is definitely when I stopped anyway. Not that much. It might have been New Year's Eve, 2000 New Year's Eve, 2016. So in 2017 I stopped because I lost 2 days of my life. Like the 1st and 2nd of January, I don't have any memory of it. My memories start on the 3rd. So I went out New Year's Eve and lost 2 days. And that was a big thing for me at the time. I'm glad I stopped when I did. Now I don't smoke cannabis anymore as well. The cannabis one took a bit longer. I didn't really stop or try stopping until I think last year. I was on and off. I'd stop for a month, 2 months, 3 months maybe, then smoke cannabis again for another month, stop again, and then into this year, I'm kind of repeating that pattern a little bit. Patch here, stop and start. Because I knew I could stop, that's why I wasn't too scared about starting again, because I knew that I can stop. However, when Charlie Kirk got shot, I had 2 spliffs left. I smoked them, and I made a vow I was not going to be purchasing any more cannabis ever again. Because it just kills your your enthusiasm, your drive. You know, there's the old song, I was going to clean my room until I got high. I'm not going to sing it though, but I'm sure you've heard the song, and it's true. It does make you procrastinate, is the word I'm looking for. Which I would say, at 38 years old, I don't have time for procrastinating anymore. I have a function, God has a plan for me, and I must follow it. I don't know if it's looking overexposed on the camera actually. I don't know why suddenly it's looking so overexposed, but we're getting into the woods now, or at least a section of the woods. Oh my days, the screen is glaring me. I'm just going to try and change the setting here. See, just bear with me, YouTube. And that looks slightly better to me. The birds singing. It's quite interesting actually. The trees are in the midst of losing their leaves, but many of them are still green. Which is weird because all the conkers are dropping off the trees. Then you'd think a lot of the leaves would be more brown than they are at the moment. Well, weird. There's a noise behind me and there's nothing there. Definitely just sounded like somebody stood on twigs, and I mean twigs plural. It was like... Uh-oh, I think I've just gone past where I wanted to go left, but I'll keep going. I'll keep going this way. Again, this is the way I walked up, to be fair. So there's a couple of ladies here that I took the scenic route round because I didn't want them to think I was sticking the camera in their face. You know, there's no law saying that I can't film people in public, but I don't want to be rude about it. If I can avoid, sticking the camera in the face, and I will try and avoid it unless they get aggressive with me, and then obviously I have to film them for my own protection, but that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to be a Charlie Veitch or anything, and I have no problem with Charlie Veitch. I know some people don't like him. I know he's perfect, but I just think Charlie Veitch was doing something good for the country, and he has inspired other people. He's highlighted things in Manchester and other areas as well. But unfortunately, Charlie Veitch has had to stop doing it because he's had threats against his life from a certain religion. I won't name where it is, but I'm sure you can probably guess which adherents of which religion have been threatening his life. But Charlie Veitch has 4 children, so he obviously cannot afford to do foolish things. He's got to do the smart thing. Can no longer do the city centre videos. I don't know if I'm going to get overexposed again here or what. No, it's looking good. Oh, lovely. It actually got better once it came out into the light. Lovely meadow, I suppose, field. I'm sure I remember this having rapeseed in it back in the day. So maybe it's not a meadow, maybe it is just farmer's field that he's not currently got any crops in. I am almost certain this used to have rapeseed in it back in the day. I am absolutely starving. I could have had, I suppose, some cake and a biscuit or so at church, but with me not bringing any change or anything, I didn't want to be cheeky. I still stayed for a cup of tea to talk with anybody that might want to approach me. I'm trying not to force myself on people. People want to talk to me, they're more than welcome to come up to me, but I'm not going to push myself onto people. I'll let God guide people to me. I'm not going to force anything. Unfortunately, maybe some of you will be disappointed, but when I went to church as well earlier, I didn't do the communion thing or whatever. I mean, you have to forgive me, I don't really know what I'm talking about, but I didn't do the thing where you go up to the altar or whatever and have bread and wine, or the cracker and wine, or whatever it is. I don't know. Not that I'm against it, just I have this imposter syndrome. Makes me feel like I don't deserve things. And, maybe I just didn't feel like I deserve being blessed at the minute. Something I have to work towards. Can't just show up and get the same treatment as everybody else. I don't even know what I'm doing with the hymn book and stuff at the minute. So all I really say is amen when prompted. I don't know how to sing the hymns. The old melody part, everything catches me off guard. I'm not sure how you sing them. Maybe one day though. Yeah. And I did mention this in another video, but the camera got overexposed. It's trying to do it again, which is very annoying. But yeah, here we have bricked up windows from when they used to try and tax sunlight in the United Kingdom. Or I suppose it would have been England maybe at that point. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not 100% sure when that legislation was passed. But yeah, that's why these windows are bricked up. Called it the window tax, but it was a tax on sunlight into your home. just goes to prove the government will do anything to try and rinse money out of you. But here we have some nice lovely houses. I think these are quite recently renovated. I'm sure that these used to be like derelict not too long ago. Pretty certain. I'm sure I remember them being boarded up. I smell more food. I'll probably be from the Heritage Centre that I'm walking at the side of. Yeah, I suppose I could take a right-hand turn, quickly walk through part of the Heritage Centre. Not going to go walk around it all though, especially as the camera seems to attract a lot of attention for some peculiar reason. I mean, the microphone is red, and it's on the top, the transceiver for the mic. But you know, it's 2025. You think people have seen cameras before? But again, I'll try not to be too negative. Rant about pointless things. Just because they stare doesn't mean that they're thinking negative things about me. No, I'm not dilly-dally filming here. Children about and stuff, but I'll give you a quick view. So I'm not focused on people though. So there's children around, like craft shops in there and stuff. House of the Dragon. It's good to see it being so busy though. This is actually where I first saw the Queen. When I was probably about, I don't know, 6 years old. The Queen visited, and I got to see the Queen, luckily. Never met King Charles though. My mum, I think, has. I think probably never will get to meet him. Not that I'm wishing anything negative on him or anything, but he's quite old, and I don't think he does many of these sort of like those kind of public visits. And then some more shops here, sweet shops. More down there as well. I'll just quickly hop step. I'll not invade people's privacy. And away I go. Yeah. Maybe if you're watching this video, all the trolls in other countries like to say that we're in Islamic country, will get the impression that no, there isn't really that many around in certain parts of the country. Maybe London, Birmingham, Manchester, Bradford, sure. But where I am, 98% white. I'm not trying to say that that makes it better or worse for anybody jumps down my neck. But, you know, the argument that England is a shithole really doesn't really apply to where I live. And you can see the other church there, it's Elsica Church. You can see the spire in the background, or what's it called? Steeple? Or is it not a steeple? I'm forgetting, I'm drawing a blank. I can hear a bird of prey. But then again, I'm sure a fella up here does have a bird of prey actually. Might hang a right to see if it's still there. I'm sure I've seen him before. Because I can hear it from over here. Yeah. I'm not sure if the mic is picking it up, but I can hear it. It's got his England flag out. At least I think it's a property that's located on. Excuse me, I have just belched again. It must be because I haven't eaten anything. I've only had 2 cups of tea, one before I left for church and one at the church. Yeah, I'm sure the bird is just up here on the right hand side. Don't know if he'll tell me to not film it. We'll see though. We'll see. No, I don't think it. I don't think it. It's visible. Maybe not. I see a bit more British heritage here. Mini Cooper. I'm sure the bird. Yeah, oh, yeah. Yeah, here she is. Zoom in a bit. Beautiful. Very lovely. But I'll not pester her. Make myself scarce and head home. Man, I am so hungry, and I'm sorry for complaining about being so hungry on the camera. I walked to church and I walked back, so that's burning calories. I only had the tea, there's calories in, and I'm hungover, like I said as well. So I'm feeling a little tender. It's funny to see this for sale now. It must mean it's been closed down. I once had an interview here, and they didn't give me the job, even though I was too good for it. So I'm glad. And I'm not going to swear because I haven't swore all the way through this video, but I do want to swear. You can, sure you can guess what I want to say. It begins with F, and the second word begins with O. And just around about here, somewhere I used to live. I'm not going to film it. Just at the end of the road here, we have the Crown. Or the Crown Inn, I suppose is its full name. So I was like having fun in there. I'll just end the video here, I think. So I'll have to walk uphill and I'll get out of breath. So I'm out of shape. But yeah, it's the Crown Inn. That's the direction I've just come from. And if you can see there, try and zoom into it. That is Wentworth Church, where I started. So I've walked away through Wentworth, back round on myself, through Elsker, still in Elsker. Now I'm going to walk up to Ireland. So I'll leave the video here. I'll see you in the next one.